When you sit down at your computer to take your online test, you should see your name, your ID, and the school name at the top of the computer. When your test administrator tells you to begin, you will click Start. I want to talk about your screen so you can be familiar with your screen. Notice across the top, you will see an information bar with your name, your school name, the item number you're on, and how many items there are in that section of the test. Below that, you will see a toolbar, and we're going to talk about those tools a little later. Those are tools that you may use during the test as an option. Next, you will see your item, and in this case, we're looking at a reading item. Of course, you'll see the reading selection and the test item. It's divided, the screen is divided, and at the bottom, you will see navigation tools that help you navigate through. You should be aware that you don't want to click too close to the edges of your screen or hover too close because it may log you out, and your test administrator will need to log you back in. But let's look at your tools. Most of these tools work so that if you click on them one time to turn them on, you click on them again to turn them off. So notice that once I selected an answer, the first tool that came up was called a reset tool. It did not appear until I had selected an answer. So if I decide I want to reset my problem or my screen back to its original state, I would click that reset tool. I've got a caution window and reset again, and everything is back as it was. The next tool is a flag tool. It lets you flag this item in case you want to return to it later, and you can flag it by clicking in the box, or you can click the word flag. If you click flag, it of course will flag it. You'll see a check in the box. If you click flag again, you have basically unflagged it. Next is a strike tool. So if you're doing a multiple choice item and you would like to, as soon as you see some of the answer choices, you may think, well, I don't need them. So if you want to remind yourself not to select that answer choice, you would click on your strike tool and then click on whichever multiple choice it is that you want to make sure you do not select as an answer. Even if you strike out 3 of them, you still have to select the right answer. So to turn your strike tool back off, you would go back up and click on that tool again. So if you decided you wanted to unstrike an answer, you have to turn the tool on, click on that strike answer, and then go back and turn the tool off. The third tool is a highlight tool, and you'll notice there are actually 3 highlighter tools. The first highlighter tool is a small one, and it allows you, once you turn it on, you can highlight any word or any area of the screen that you would like to highlight. The second tool allows you to unhighlight a portion of whatever you may have highlighted. The third tool allows you to clear all highlighting at once. So those are your 3 highlighter tools. You can first highlight anything you would like to highlight. The second one is the unhighlight, and it allows you to unhighlight a portion. And the third tool is your clear highlight, and you could clear everything that you've highlighted. And that final tool is a help tool. If you click on that circle with a question mark, it will help you if you have forgotten how to use any of your tools or your navigation bar. So you have that option as well. And this is what would come up. You would be able to look around and read the information. And then you can click that help tool again to have that go. Oh, I'm sorry. You would click in that little X in the top right-hand corner to close it. So now let's talk about your navigation. Your navigation bar down here is how you would move about. Let's say I want to go ahead and select an answer choice. And now I would move next, takes you to your next item. And if I wanted to go back to my first item, first would take me back to my first item in my test or my section, if your test has multiple sections. You'll notice here on this screen that this is a different type of item. This type of item is called a drag and drop item. So here you would have your tools available to you, read your directions, and then you would actually take your answer choices at the bottom and drag them and drop them into the area that you feel like they best fit. You can change them. You can click and drag them to another section. Remember, you can use your reset tool to reset your entire item back to the way that it was. So back in that navigation bar, your navigation bar first takes you back to the first item, back takes you to the previous item that you were on. Next, of course, will take you to the next item in your test. Pause is what you would use to open up a screen that keeps others from seeing your assessment during breaks, and your test administrator would tell you when to use the pause button. Review would allow you to immediately go to the end of your test and go back to, I'm going to flag this item so you can see what that looks like. Go back to, this is the end of your test, and you could see if you've answered questions, and you would have an asterisk here beside answered. If you flagged anything, you would have a question mark. You can get back to that flagged question by simply clicking on that item. So that is your navigation tool. Here you're seeing another test type. This one is a text selection. It is divided in 3 sections. These divider bars you can click and drag to move them closer together if you feel like you have too much space. So here, whatever, you would read your item, and then these are your choices. So you would click on those texts that you would like to select, and it automatically moves it to the bottom. Let's suppose you clicked on one that you did not want selected. You come back up here and click on the light gray outward, and it would bring that back up. So you do have the option to, again, reset if you want to reset it entirely to its first state when you got to that item. You will be doing the reading test, so this is a math question, but it's a multiple choice question. So this is a short answer, so you would actually type your response here. You, of course, will not be doing math, but if you get a short answer question, you would just click in the box and type your answer. So another multiple choice. And now I want you to see the end of the test. What you see at the end of your test is called a summary page. Okay, so when you finish it, you get a summary or review page. And what you'll see is the number of items you answered out of your total items. And it will also tell you if you flagged any items. If you answered them, you will see an asterisk again under your item number. If you flagged it, you will see a question mark. So again, if you want to go back, you would click on that number. And if you wanted to make any changes or answer it, you would do that. You could unflag it at that point and then click review to go back to the end of your test. If this test is a multiple section test, you will have 2 options down here called exit or next. If it does not have multiple sections and you're at the end of the test, you should see exit and end test. Exit should only be used by your test administrator. You, when you have completed your entire test, will click end test. You'll get a caution message to be sure you've ended. And if you've finished, you will actually click end test. If not, of course, you would click cancel.